Greetings, I'm Eric with Your Essential Practice. For this week's Divinely Guided Rune reading, we have a bunch of astrological transits occurring, but none of them are super significantly major. However, as usual, I have all the information in the description box down below. So please do not forget to check that out if you're a little lost during these rune reading videos. Now, thank you to everyone who hung in there with me this last week while I recovered from illness. Hopefully that major rune reading that I did last week for the collective sufficed, but for now, let's get back into the rhythm and the flow of your zodiac weekly divinely guided rune reading. Here we go. Greetings, Sagittarius, and welcome to your divinely guided rune reading here for the week. Let's jump right on in and get your rune for the energetic past. Here we have the Divine Masculine's rune. It's an irreversible rune. This is called Ingwaz. Ingwaz is known as the seed or fertility, and it's indicative of fertile soil. You see it depicted like this, like the seed, many times, but that's because of the two X's there. So either way you see this in the Elder Futhark is okay. Ingwaz is that Divine Masculine's rune of coming from that place of knowing rather than guessing. So you've planted the seed in that fertile soil. Now, if anybody asks you, how's your seed growing? You know you can answer them without guessing. You can respond instead of react, right? Divine Masculine's rune right there. You know it's fertile soil. You have that security and the stoicism and all that beautiful energy. So whatever this is in your energetic past, you've probably been called into aspects of healing that Divine Masculine within yourself, holding space for others, for yourself, for that healing work like the Divine Masculine does. Now, it's not just the Divine Masculine's duty to hold space. Both hold space for each other, it just in slightly different ways. They're so similar, yet so different at the same time, the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine energies. But we do have aspects of both of them within ourselves. And it's really up to us what we do with this energy. Let me know in the comments below how this is all resonating here for you as we continue, Sagittarius. Right now, in your now energies, we have the rune of Manas. What goes around comes around. This is the rune of mankind. This is a lot of knowing where your place is in the collective, in the world, in your tribe. More collectively, I would say, because this is one clan flag facing another clan flag. So it's two Wunjos facing each other. So what that incites is definition is an other than. It's not really swayed in one direction of joining or opposing this clan member, clan flag, or however you want to identify it, right? It's neither and both at the same time. This invites the need even for a definition. Is there one? I mean, this is a lot of recognition of the patterns in life, right? Like the whole what goes around comes around kind of thing. But with this clan flag now present before you, that could be an attraction to your Divine Masculine, or you're just holding that space in that Divine Masculine and having a greater awareness of, in a very ego-healed place, of where you're standing in your society, in your collective. In your energetic near future, we have the rune Awaz, and this is another irreversible rune. This is like the life of the tree of life, of Yggdrasil, of the world access point, of the tree of life being at the world access point, right? And there's the condor at the top of the tree of life, and there's the great serpent at the bottom of the tree of life, and we'll feel like the squirrel that's in the middle, balancing out all the information, making sure this access is all balanced out, right? This is more durability, more flexibility, more awareness, more hustle, more alignment and flow. This is reminding you to flex like the yew tree, Y-E-W. That's what the tree of life was fashioned after, and that's what they made bows out of, the Y-E-W, the yew branch, or an ash tree here. So that's something that was very flexible, very durable, reminding you that if you're too flexible or if you're not flexible enough, then we can snap our branches off and become that rune of Isa, stuck, frozen, rigid, repeating life lessons. But if we're flexing through the tree, through the breeze, through the wind, and through the storms and whatnot, we can see the sun poking through the branches of the tree. And that would be Solilo, the opposite of the ice. So that would be more radiant warmth and blessings and good fortune. So this is an increase of your toughness, your durability, like the divine masculine. I mean, I know it sounds like you've been going through a lot, Sagittarius here, especially in the spring months. But you are having a lot greater sense of awareness, and really just through all the pivots and changes, you've been adapting and being dedicated to yourself, hopefully balancing out your own inner tree of life, that head and heart balance, right, in the near energetic future. Let me see what's going on in your energetic influences right now. Okay, you have Odin's rune for your energetic influence. So for that, we do have a whole nother set we will draw from at the end of the reading. So Odin's rune is like the patch over Odin's eye. That's like something that's hidden from you or something that you already know. All right, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, Sagittarius. Let's get your advice for the now. What's your advice for the now energies? Othala. Yeah, increasing your stability. Remember when the runes go like that out, when they make like that bottom part of the X, the V that goes downward, that's very stable, where you build your structure on top of that. Very stable energies, very grounded energies here in the now with your awareness. So when the runes are having the lines going straight off, down the rune, that is very grounded energy. Here's very stable, super stable, and they're stable, where you're building your structure, your legacy. So you're called to look at what is perpetual versus what is transitory, what is lasting for 7 generations versus what's going to last like 1 or 2 generations. Sure, an inheritance like money or land might last a couple generations if you're lucky. But if you leave behind a legacy like pay it forward, something like that, that'll last for lifetimes, multiple lifetimes. So you're being called into your aspects of what is going to carry out in a positive manner for the next 7 generations, right? And that's going to feed into your toughness and stability. You have the strength to do it right now. You have this awareness that's impacting you, or maybe lack of awareness. But through this, you are becoming more, I wouldn't say initiated, but more strengthened. You've been down this road before, and now you're. It's like a repetition, like going to the gym and lifting weights. This is a repetition almost for you, where this is strengthening your sense of stoicism, sense of being grounded, your divine masculine balance, your flexibility, your durability, your toughness, and leaving a lasting legacy behind for your future ancestors. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So let's look at your total outcome for this rune reading. For this is going to be interesting. This is Hagalaz. So Hagalaz is the hail rune. So the hail rune, that's indicative of something that's an unintended eventuality, where it's not something you are planning on happening, that you want to manifest, but you know it's bound to happen regardless, eventually, sooner or later. Kind of like a car repair or a natural disaster like the hail rune. Now, this is also closely related to the Tower card in Tarot, where it wipes away everything that was in that tower so you can rebuild that tower. so you can rebuild and expand your foundations with more strength, with greater awareness. This is all the things that aren't serving you being removed from your life. This is a happening for you, not a happening to you. When we look at it as happening to us, then it's, oh no, and then we're not going to be able to be stable or tough or whatever. That's not divine masculine. That's all, woe is me, worry, worry, worry. Instead of, I'm going within. I might need to take a day or two by myself, but I'm going to go get grounded and really think about my next steps being healthy for my legacy. And in turn, that'll automatically make me stronger, more balanced, able to flex with these energies. All right, so a little bit of a unintended eventuality, but let's see what your big influence that's hidden from you. Interesting. It could be, what I'm getting here with this other clan flag is that this is somebody in your circle, or somebody just outside of your circle that you're debating on including into your circle, or this is somebody in your circle that's hiding something from you to increase your legacy. This is something you need to release. I think something here, in your overthinking aspect, is something that is going to fall away, but we need to uncover what that influence is here. What is that influence? That clarity. So clarity is interesting. This is in the center of manas. You see that? Where manas and dagas is transmutation energy. Dagas is temperance. This is true alchemy. This is clarity from the transition from night until day, into day. So when you take this metamorphosis, like this butterfly emerging out of the chrysalis, where you're never going to be the same, somebody's preventing you from this, something or somebody. And you can kind of feel some of that going on. I think you're just remain vigilant, be in your lane. Don't walk softly, but carry a big stick, if you know what I'm saying there, Sagittarius. This is one of those where do no harm, but also take no crap. You're going to need to be very much in your divine masculine sense when you're moving forward and sticking up for your legacy, so that can help catapult you into becoming the stronger you that you're trying to become. Because this clarity right here is being hidden from you. And I do think this is something to do with a clan member. So Daga's here. It's like that hourglass tipped on its side, where you have that moment outside of time and that sort of crystal clear clarity. So you know what, Sagittarius, if you don't get clear on this right now, and even if you don't get clear on this, and you're just remaining vigilant to you're like going within, right? Not really inviting any other energies in at this moment, but you're recognizing these definitions and the other energies for what they are. It'll reveal itself. This clarity will come out here. Even if you don't go looking for it right now, okay? Remain vigilant to your divine source blueprint, because that clarity will come out with that Hagalas. After the storm, reflects and we get to see the sun, or we get to repeat life lessons. The choice is yours. Wow, that's a deep one, Sagittarius. Let's get a card of clarity from these beautiful handmade cards. These are messages straight from divine to your spirit, to your soul. One just popped out there. Let's see what that one is. We have imagine. Imagine. Yeah. Okay, so if you're trying to imagine what this clarity is, you can just simply use that energy better to imagine yourself having a firm foundation, envisioning that, manifesting it, right? So you can be stable and have something to hold on to and weather the storm. Okay, so the warning here is if you're holding on to this too tightly and not using your imagination, this will take you straight back to having to replant your seeds again, having to restart your aspects of community, aspects of foundation. You're having to reevaluate, like paradigm shift, probably. All right, take what resonates here. Let me know in the comments below how it resonated here for you, Sagittarius. Namaste. Have a blessed and abundant week.